Dear learner friends, you're welcome to this special edition of the Nigerian Forum of Trained Virtual Lawyers Hybrid Legal Practice Masterclass. In this particular edition or part of the masterclass, we want to look at some of the areas that we have discussed in these last 2 days that we started the class. We've packaged this particular edition for the benefit of the participants who actually joined us late. Some came midway, and some could not even join, could not participate in the training in real time because of their job schedule, while some who were even on the platform could not really follow up because of the pace with which we were going about it, some other circumstances beyond their control. So we want to actually make them to have an opportunity once more to understand what hybrid legal practice is all about, if they are not able to go through what they have on the platform. That is the essence of this edition of the Nigerian Forum of Trained Virtual Lawyers Hybrid Legal Practice Masterclass. Now, as you can see on the screen, some of the things that we have actually discussed and which we are also discussing at the moment. Uh, 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 there you have what is legal, what is hybrid legal practice, how is hybrid legal practice different from virtual law practice, what gave rise to hybrid legal practice, what legal regime is applicable to hybrid legal practice, how does a hybrid legal firm operate, does the RPC support hybrid legal practice, is there any law or practice direction of our courts that regulate hybrid legal practice? What are the possible layers of hybrid legal practice? How does one set up a hybrid law firm? What is the cost of maintaining a hybrid law firm? Which matters are the most common matters that are good for hybrid legal practice? How does a lawyer improve his or her earning through hybrid legal practice? And the relationship between hybrid legal practice and cross-border mediation, the relationship between legal process outsourcing and hybrid legal practice, co-counsel agreements and hybrid legal practice, the legal drafting and hybrid legal practice, ADR or ODR and ID in hybrid legal practice, property transactions and legal documentation and hybrid legal practice, and the relationship between transactional practice and hybrid legal practice. These are some of the focal areas, or these are some of the areas of focus that we have been deliberating on the platform. And now we actually started the master class in this particular way so that we can have a kind of a theoretical background about what hybrid legal practice is all about. When we talk about hybrid legal practice, some people think that it's just one big thing, and that is why it's become difficult to translate everything about the whole idea or the model of practice into reality in Nigeria. So a lot of lawyers still think it is difficult, and this masterclass is actually designed to simplify, to make you understand that it is not really difficult. So, what is really hybrid legal practice, from what we have discussed before and which we're also deliberating now. The term hybrid legal practice implies a model of law practice that combines two different approaches of practice: remote and physical work. It involves the structure of working from a brick and mortar office and the flexibility of working from the comfort of one's home or conveniently representing a client in court remotely, while the client may be or may not be present in the court. It also means a model of practice that involves technologically creative and convenient means of representing clients through different technological structures or tools. You can also say it is a technologically creative and convenient means of providing legal services for clients. So it's very simple. Strictly speaking, hybrid legal practice is different from virtual law practice because it involves two models of legal practice: remote and in person. While virtual law practice, as a matter of fact, is strictly remote to a great extent. So when you are talking about virtual law practice, you are talking about remote practice using technological tools, using technological aids, using tech facilities, tech tools to represent clients remotely, to provide legal services remotely. But hybrid legal practice involves a combination of the tools you use for in-person representation and the tools or the structures that you use for uh, virtual representation. That is actually what um, it is. As a matter of fact, to understand what gave rise to hybrid legal practice is for us to take into account or take into consideration the relaxing of the global COVID-19 lockdown, or we can call it movement restrictions, and the reopening of our courts and offices for business. That was actually what gave rise or gave birth to hybrid legal practice. But that is not to say that it wasn't there before. In the developed climes, you of course there had been hybrid legal practice before the COVID-19 pandemic. But a lot of lawyers, you know, because of the conservative nature of the profession, were paying lip service to it. They wanted to meet their clients physically. They wanted to represent their clients. They wanted to, represent their clients in court physically and what have you. But something brought about this innovation. For me, I would call it uh, necessity brought about the innovation. And it is the future of law practice. We must understand that fact. We must understand that prior to the pandemic, what we had was predominantly in person or brick and mortar legal practice. During the pandemic, a new model of law practice became predominantly the order of the day globally, and that was virtual law practice. We had virtual hearing. A lot of the cities got locked down, so lawyers were representing their clients from their homes You were providing legal services virtually via emails, Zoom, WhatsApp, and a lot of technological tools. Now, in this emerging post COVID-19 era, the kind of practice we have is hybrid. We just hope that Nigerian lawyers will begin to embrace this model of practice. And that is why this masterclass is very important. Of course, we don't need any further definition or meaning attached to the word hybrid, other than the fact that it is a combination of remote and in-person or brick and mortar practice of law. That is it. We have a legal regime applicable to hybrid legal practice in Nigeria. Unfortunately, very few lawyers know this. And even those who know this, they not actually, a lot of those who know it, or some of those who know it, have not really uh, taken into cognizance the fact that we can actually make it work in Nigeria. This masterclass on hybrid legal practice is one of such initiatives designed to make Nigerian lawyers know that it is really possible. Strictly speaking, the 1999 Constitution is a foundation of hybrid legal practice. Of course, you can read it. This is not the forum for us to start talking about the provision there, but you can take a look at it. The Cyber Crimes Act is there, Cyber Crimes Act of 2015, the Data Protection Regulation of 2019, the NJC. In fact, this one is very, very important. The NJC COVID-19 directives of May 2020. Practically, it provides a framework for hybrid legal practice. Unfortunately, very few lawyers understand this particular fact. Then we have rules of court across the country and practice directions of courts, as well as the rules of professional conduct as applicable to legal practitioners in Nigeria. All these are laws that actually provide uh, the Nigerian lawyer to practice law in the light of these hybrid um, hybrid legal practice model that we are advocating for. Now the question here is, how does a hybrid legal firm or law firm operate? It is very simple. It operates by a sort of in-person or brick and mortar legal representation and by remote legal representation with the aid of technological tools like Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp video calls, emails, and what have you. And the one question is, how is it really practical? It is practicable. You will get to know it as the talk progresses. Now let's look at some other very important um, issues in this model of law practice. Let's take this question. Does the RPC support hybrid legal practice? The answer is yes. Of course, the RPC does not in any way forbids lawyers from using their expertise to represent clients. And globally, in the light of best practices, the use of technological tools are considered as part of the expertise that a lawyer shows in representing his client or her client, as the case may be. So, if the lawyer fails to use technological tools to represent his or her client, as a matter of fact, the lawyer has actually fallen short of the standard required of him to demonstrate, required of her to show in providing legal services for his or her clients. More so when the court even provides a template, some rules or practice directions or practice directives for lawyers to follow as a procedure to practice as either virtual lawyers or lawyers very much involved in hybrid legal practice. Rule 14 of the RPC provides that it is the duty of a lawyer to devote his attention, energy, and expertise to the service of his clients. And he should subject himself to any rule of law. He should act in a manner that is consistent with the best interest of the client. So, if in the best interest of the client, you are expected to use tech tools to represent your client, what are you doing? You are showing expertise. So, this is one particular rule that actually clearly shows how lawyers can use their expertise to represent their client very well. So when people say, okay, the rule does not provide for the use of technology, I sometimes smile. Just look at them. It you have to look at the rules beyond the letters. Look at the rules very well. And the only way you can actually do it is when you study the rules with an open mind. It's there. I don't want to talk about the NGC directives, which actually clearly provide for how you can either practice as a virtual, how a lawyer can be involved in virtual law practice, or how a lawyer can be very much involved in hybrid legal practice. I don't even want to talk about it. But I'm talking about the rules of professional conduct. Rule 14 answers the question. When a lawyer uses his expertise, part of your expertise is what? Innovation. Using tech tools is part of your expertise, is a way to show how you deploy innovative strategies to represent your client. Well, as a matter of fact, failure to use a good technological tool to provide legal services for the benefit of your clients will amount to professional misconduct. You take it or you leave it. Globally, soonest we believe that Nigerian lawyers will begin to understand what Rule 14 of the RPC actually means in the light of representing clients creatively, innovatively, and strategically. A lawyer who deploys technological tools to represent his or her client clearly shows expertise in his or her service delivery to the client in this emerging post COVID-19 era. I want to believe that there won't be any argument there. And there's a question here. How does the practice direction regulate hybrid legal practice? The NGC Directive of May 2020 is a principal operational practice directive that regulates hybrid legal practice in Nigeria, among others. There are a lot of provisions there that actually regulate hybrid legal practice. So it is important that the lawyer who wants to be equipped in hybrid legal practice should actually study the practice duration issued, directive issued last year, that is May 2020, by the Chief Justice of uh, of Nigeria, as a matter of fact. So now we have a question: what are the structures or the layers that are involved in hybrid legal practice? Well, there is a model of hybrid legal practice which is now in Nigeria. And that model of hybrid legal practice was actually developed by the founder, the developer of the 5G Virtual Office Plus. The model of 5G, the model the 5G Virtual Law Office model of hybrid legal practice has 12 structures. And these 12 structures are also called 12 layers. The first one is when a lawyer represents his or her client remotely while both parties are in a brick and mortar court to give evidence. Just one lawyer represents his client remotely. In other words, the lawyer is in Lagos, or is in America, or is in Canada, representing a client in Nigeria who is a party in a matter with the other lawyer in court, and the client who is a party in the matter is also in court. That is the first layer. That's the first structure. The second structure is both lawyers representing their clients in court remotely while both parties are giving evidence in a brick and mortar court. So you can see there's a difference between the first and the second. The first has just one lawyer, while the second has both lawyers. 3, one lawyer represents his or her client in court physically, while the client gives evidence remotely through video conferencing tools. 4, both lawyers represent their clients in person, while their clients give evidence in court remotely. Let us take a look at the difference between 3 and 4. Number 3 says one lawyer represents his or her client in court physically, while the client gives evidence remotely through video conferencing tools. Just one lawyer represents his or her client in court physically, while the client gives evidence remotely through video conferencing tools. The fourth is both lawyers represent their clients in person, that is in court. Why their clients give evidence in court remotely. That's a fourth structure. The fifth, both lawyers represent their clients physically, while one of the parties gives evidence remotely. So both lawyers are in court, while one of the parties gives evidence remotely. The sixth, by order of court, parties are in the physical court room attending proceedings while their lawyers address court remotely. This one is addressing court remotely. The sixth is then you have both lawyers move their motions remotely while parties are in the brick and mortar courts. Then the seventh is one of the lawyers move his or her motion remotely while parties are in courts. And number eight is a lawyer holds a meeting with his or her client remotely from his or her main office while he or she joins the meeting from wherever convenient for him or her. Then you have a lawyer holds a meeting with his or her client in person while the adverse party attends court remotely as the case may be. And this is very much convenient for ADR or ODR purposes. A lawyer holds a meeting for his or her client in person, while the adverse party lawyer attends court remotely, as the case may be. Then you have the one which has to do with both lawyers holding meetings remotely in their main offices, while their clients attend in person in the lawyer's offices. Then you have a lawyer holds a collaborative document review meeting with his or her client remotely, while the client's representatives, not the client's representative attends in person for collaborative scrutiny. And the last one is a lawyer acts for his or her clients and follows up the client's business transaction or visits the client's project site for inspection while the client participates remotely. From the above, of course, you will agree with me that um, there are 12 structures of or layers, as the case may be, of hybrid legal practice. This design of hybrid legal practice is that of the 5G virtual law office plus model. So, and it was designed by the founder of the developer of the 5G virtual office model. It answers all questions as to the different ways a lawyer can actually practice or can be involved in hybrid legal practice. We must not deceive ourselves. The conventional way of practicing law will always remain the same. We cannot do without it. Why practicing law remotely using technological tools to represent clients virtually is something that we cannot really do away with. So the best thing that we should do is to combine the two approaches of law practice and we use them to represent our clients very well. So that's it. Now the other question is, how does one set up a hybrid law firm? Of course, it is simple. Taking into account the cost of maintaining an interactive website, not just a website, an interactive website, we often advise that any lawyer who wants to be involved in hybrid legal practice should start with a free plan website, not a paid plan. Then you become visible online. You can do that for a year. When you become visible, when you become fairly comfortable, you know how to manage your size yourself. Not for every little problem you get somebody to come and fix it. You know how to manage it. Then you can actually go for a paid plan. We have a lot of open source free plan websites that you can actually customize to suit your need in the light of the values of your law firm. So it's something that we should actually look at very well. And you can also use it to promote your practice and become visible in a unique way. Then, after you have become proficient in the management of the site, as it were, then you can uh, transition to a paid plan. You observe that some law firm just have their sites there and they don't even know what is happening there. In fact, by estimation, the sites are just they're more like signboards just to tell you that okay, there's a law firm like this in Nigeria. It goes beyond that. If WhatsApp is interactive, you can also make your law firm interactive. It's very possible. Okay. Now another question is how does one set up a hybrid law firm? And the answer to this question is very much easy. If you consider the cost of maintaining an interactive website, you will know that using a free plan website and get it linked to your WhatsApp contacts and Facebook, as well as some other accounts that you may be operating or you may be using, will be very, very helpful to you. You can use Wiscom or WordPress to host your website, and uh, they have a framework that is very much convenient for your law firm. And with the 5G virtual office model of hybrid legal practice, you can configure your sites, your website in such a way that you will be able to link it up with your WhatsApp, such that if anybody visits your site, once they visit your site, from there they can contact you right on your WhatsApp. They can check into your reception, your main office, that's the principal's office, your boardroom, your virtual, your library, your your law directory, and a lot of other um, features that you have in your 5G virtual law office. So that is it. Um, that's actually what we did, the first day, and of course, for those who could not join us the first day, they had a problem, following up with what we discussed. Hence, we are coming up with this particular talk so that you'll be able to understand what we have been doing on the platform. Uh, Now, there was a question that somebody asked. He said, "Please, my question is, how is it possible that lawyers will represent clients in court and parties will appear virtually? And most of our courts are not technologically developed." It is mostly from the Federal High Court upwards that uh, is the lawyer expected to open a Zoom meeting with his or her client, maybe in a cross-examination scenario. The other party will question the party who is appearing virtually. Will the judges even accept this in the court record as proper? I just want to understand if this virtual reality concept can really work considering our old school judges and courts. Thank you. That was the question from Paul Adejo. And we gave an answer to that particular question. And the answer to your question is simple. It is very possible. The first thing the lawyer should do is to bring an application for virtual or hybrid hearing. Then the facilitator went further to say that to say this. He said, "I already have such application before a court in Warri and to be heard soon. I will send in a format or sample of such application tomorrow. Let me also add that the client I'm representing is based in South Africa. I and the lawyer on the other side have always appeared in court. Why, by the application we filed, he is expected to appear from his base in South Africa." So that answers the question. And I think the person the participant who asked that question was satisfied. I also went further to say that to support the fact that IB legal practice has come to stay in Nigeria, let's add that there is already a ruling on virtual witness deposition on oath in Nigeria. And I was the one that filed and moved that application through the ruling uh, upon which the ruling was delivered. So that is it. So these are just pointers to the fact that virtual law practice has come to stay. It has been here in Nigeria. A lot of people have got to know that we now have it here in Nigeria. And the master class is more like an eye opener. It's to open the eyes of lawyers in Nigeria so that they can really know that, as a matter of fact, every legal practice um, it's not a rocket science the way a lot of people think it is. It's just just the kind of passion you have about the using technology to represent your clients that will make you to begin to consider it as a very good way of as very innovative way of practicing law. Um, um, yeah, that was actually uh, the first day. Um, was the first day. Then after the first day, the second day, we we started on a fresh note. We have to go to that. These are responses based on some of the things that we had been discussing on the platform. And now this is what we have. We have a day two. Let us look at what we have in day two. Day two. Yeah, let's before we look at day two, let's look at that the news report on uh, the court order that the South African-based Nigerian can actually depose to facts in a virtual witness deposition on oath. In other words, you can actually depose to facts in an affidavit virtually with the use of WhatsApp video call or any other technological tools. That's the news there. Um, Now, training day two. The focus areas for consideration in the training day two are how does one set up a hybrid law firm with a 5-year virtual law office model? So, what is the cost of maintaining hybrid law firm as mentioned above? Which matters are the most common matters that have good? Some of these questions have been addressed before. So let us see what the facilitator said about them. It says um, yeah, before we uh, discuss what the day two was all about, let me invite you to note or to take a look at the document there. That is a precedent, the front page of a precedent for virtual witness deposition on oath. So we already have it here. Now, the question as to how does one set up a hybrid law firm with a 5-year virtual law office model plus? And the answer is simple. All you just need to do is to set it up on your WhatsApp and build a free plan website for it. And this thing is free. Step two is to link your 5-year virtual law office plus on your WhatsApp business account to your website and your Facebook business page. That is what you do. So you can see that it's not a rocket science. It's not a big deal. So the facilitator also went further to say that to say this. He said we expect you now have a law office on your WhatsApp business account. That you customize it and create different groups to represent your office reception, your principal's office, boardroom, virtual library, client's portal, law directory, data protection department, and ODR room, as the case may be. You also need to understand that the 5-year virtual law office model was actually developed with the group features on the WhatsApp business account or WhatsApp, as the case may be. You still have it there in the on the Wiz app. So that is it. Having done that, what you need to do is to create to link each of the offices to your free plan website, so that for every as they go through your website, if they want to contact you, they can contact you right via your WhatsApp because your WhatsApp business account is your law firm, Situa. So instead of calling you, they can just send you a message by your WhatsApp. If they send you an email, if you don't have the email alert, you may not really know whether you were sent a message. But your phone is always with you because the whole idea about the 5G virtual office model is that you've got to use a simple tool, a simple way to make your law firm interactive. It's part of the idea of setting it up. Uh, then you take steps to create account with my Google Business. You need to have a Google Business account. Um, it's not really difficult for you to create. When you create them, what you do is to paste the link of your website on the Google My Business account web page where the link to your law office is supposed to be pasted. And with this approach, as a matter of fact, it will become easy for you to be known online, for you to be searched online. All they just need to do is to type the name of your law firm. They type it, they will see you on Google. So you have easy access. Uh, so visibility is there for you, very much in your favor. Then all these are actually what the features of the 5G virtual office model talking about is talking about. So, what is the cost of maintaining the hybrid law office model as mentioned above? And the answer is simple. It is not expensive. It's not really expensive. As what you need, adjust your WhatsApp business account, free plan website, Facebook business account, and data. You can always upgrade to a paid plan website later. But for a start, you can use free plan website. And there's a question concerning question number three. So, which matters are the most common matters that are good for hybrid legal practice? All matters provided you make the approach of practice convenient for your clients, the courts, justice, and yourself. That's it. It's convenient. Although there are some things you can't actually do um, with the office. But as a matter of fact, with this model of practice, as a matter of fact, every virtually all areas of law can actually uh, be done in that with that model of law office. You have how does a lawyer improve his or her earning through the 5G virtual office model of hybrid law firm? So, well, the answer to this question is easy. So, what the lawyer just need to do is to be constantly visible online, commenting on topical issues, especially issues on business through your law website blogs, through your law website blogs, your newsletters, and the social media like your page on Facebook. You have got to do all this creatively and strategically without breaching any of the provisions of the rules of professional conduct as applicable to our practice. Uh, Now, look at these underlisted areas: legal process, the hybrid legal practice and cross-border mediation, legal process outsourcing and hybrid legal practice, co-counsel agreements and hybrid legal practice, legal drafting, hybrid legal. All these areas, they all have one thing or the other to do with hybrid legal practice, and you can practice law very well with with relate law with relate hybrid legal practice with any of these um, areas such as legal process outsourcing, co-counsel agreements, legal drafting and hybrid legal practice, and you can. There is a relationship between legal drafting and hybrid. I can be here where I am and draft a document for you and send the document to you virtually. Then we can invite OneDrive, do a sort of document review, and we are good to go. So, what about ADR or ODR and hybrid legal practice? You could be in Lagos while I'm here before the mediator, representing you as a mediation advocate, with the other lawyer also representing you as a mediation advocate, while you, the client, you join the session virtually. So that's it. And you have mm, there is also a relationship between hybrid legal practice with property transactions. Of course, your client need not be where the property is sold or where the property is and all that. It could just send you the money, everything. You buy everything, and you can show him the nature, the picture of the property um, uh, via WhatsApp, or you can do video conferencing for you to and cover where the property is and all that. So hybrid legal practice can be used for um, all of them. All virtually all transactional practice can actually go with hybrid legal practice. So that is it. Then you have documents sent to the house. You have co-counsel agreements. You already have it in the house. You have somebody asked a question. He said the Lagos High Court rule provides for matters to be concluded based on papers filed. Said I'm of the opinion that one can apply under this rule to have a matter heard virtually. Of course, you can actually apply under that particular rule. And you have, see, how can, is a question here, how can a practice have a social media page without breaching the RPC? There is an answer to this question. Facebook has a business, that's the answer. Facebook has a business page different from the conventional page. That page is strictly for business, not for social engagement. Such does not breach the RPC. So that is a perfect answer for that question. Um, yeah, this is a sample motion on virtual hearing. There's a sample motion. There's a sample motion. Let's look at the face of the motion. So, motion or notice. Motion or notice brought pursuant to orders 39 Rule 1 and 45 Rule 8 of the High Court Civil Procedure Rules of Delta State, Nigerian paragraphs E1, 2, 4, 10, E, F, and G of the National Judicial Council directives May 20 and under the inherent jurisdiction of this honorable court. So you can see that the NGC directives of 2020 is actually part of um, the 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 heading. So when you are filing, you have to consider the orders, the laws under which you are bringing your application. That directive is very, very important if you must be very much involved in hybrid legal practice. I think you should take a look at the leave of this honorable court for remote or virtual hearing of the substantive matter of this suit above, as it affects the claimant applicant from his location at Dash Cardwood Loan Hay, Johannesburg, Republic of South Africa. Leave of this honorable court to enable the claimant applicant to join and participate in the virtual proceedings in respect of their both suit via WhatsApp video call or Zoom or any other virtual platform as may be directed by this honorable court, which claimant's applicant's participation will be from his location at Dutch Rock, Calderwood Road, Lone Hay, Johannesburg, Republic of South Africa. Leave of this honorable court to enable the claimant applicant be led in evidence and be cross-examined in respect of the above suit via WhatsApp video call or Zoom or any other remote or virtual hearing platform as may be allowed by this honorable court from the commencement of the suit to the end to enable quick dispensation of justice in the matter. Then you have the grounds upon which you bring the application. The grounds are there. So that is it. So you can go back to uh, your your page to actually know what it's all about. At this point, uh, we call it the day. Thank you very much.